How you doing, Jordan? Good to see you, and thanks for having me. Yeah, well, right now I'm in South Florida at my house in West Palm Beach, Florida, with all my family downstairs. You might have saw the reaction, but there was a lot of people behind me, and I just got a big support system. So to hear my name called, I just I broke down in tears immediately, man. It all hit me at once.
Hey Cam, Andy Martinez from Marquee Sports Network. Just how involved or how much communication did you have with the Cubs leading up to it? And did you have a sense that, this could be a possibility as the night kind of transpired?
Yeah, how you doing, Andy? And yeah, I mean, I had an idea as we're getting closer to those picks. Right after the season, I didn't really have interviews or Zoom interviews or any phone calls with the Cubs, but obviously they knew what they were doing, and yeah, man, it's truly a blessing.
Hey Cam, this is Patrick Mooney from The Athletic. I was wondering if you'd explain just the improvements you made between your freshman and sophomore years at Florida State to put you in this position to go this high and land with the Cubs.
What's going on, Patrick? So yeah, so basically the biggest thing for me was finding ways to slow this game down, and I found something that helped me up until now to slow this game down truly, and that was meditation. So I took pride in meditation, and it got to a point where it was a hobby, doing it before, after the games, during the games, even when I'm at third base or on the on deck circle. So meditation is something that slowed my heartbeat down, and that's something huge that gets you a long way in this game.
Yeah, I'm Bruce Levine from WSCR Radio. Congratulations. And I wonder where your personality and your demeanor come from because obviously you're a good communicator by just the way you address everybody and look everybody in the eye. Is that parental or is that just how you've always been your whole life?
Thank you, Bruce. Yeah, I would give all the credit to my mother. We come from humble, beginnings, and um, everything she's taught me and drilled into my head at a young age is it kind of just builds up as you grow up and mature.
Hey Cam, it's Jordan again. You mentioned the meditation. Obviously, that's great for the mental side of the game and slowing things down. But in terms of the baseball side, were there swing tweaks or changes to your approach that helped you really make that jump from freshman year to Cape Cod and into this season in terms of, we saw that strikeout rate really plummet and looked like you were commanding the zone a lot better. So besides the mental side of the game, what kind of things were you focusing on in that way?
Yes, without a doubt. I definitely developed an approach that I stuck to all season long, and I was stubborn with it because I knew it worked for me, and I knew that's what I was best at. So I just stuck to it, and I was just hitting low line drives in the right center gap. So that's really what changed my game and let me see the ball deeper.
What adding on to Jordan's question, when you went to Cape Cod last year and it seemed like a seamless transition, was it that easy? I mean, the numbers say that, but we weren't there to watch it. How difficult was that for you?
Yeah, it really wasn't easy at all. To be honest, if you look at the first 2 weeks of my Cape Cod, performance, it wasn't good at all. It really wasn't. And after that period of that 2 week period, and that's when I had to find out what I had to do every single at bat, to get on base and help my team win. So that was what I'm best at. Like I said, the right center gap. I'm just trying to drive balls that way.
Cam, how familiar are you with the Cubs infrastructure in terms of what they've done with previous draft picks or previous prospects? And what have you learned at least in the earlier interactions with them?
Well, I think the history speaks for itself. I got a ton of respect for the organization and everybody involved in that team. So um, I'm just excited, man. This is an awesome opportunity, and I really don't think there's a better pick.
If you were giving a scouting report on yourself, Cam, what would that be, both offensively and defensively?
To play against me, you're saying, like, versus me?
If someone said, "Hey, what's Cam Smith like as a competitor? What is he like offensively and defensively? What are we getting here with this young man?"
Yeah, so defensively, I would say he's a solid defender. He's he can move laterally. He's pretty mobile. Maybe can work on that a little bit. But offensively, I would say he's a calm hitter. He has a simple approach. And he's going to give you his best stuff every single at bat.
Cam, Ryan Herrera with CHGO here. I'm just curious what the experience for you was like in the College World Series this year. Just what like you learned about yourself throughout the season, but then going through the experience of postseason baseball in college.
Yeah, how you doing, Ryan? So yeah, that was an awesome experience. It really felt like it didn't really feel real. Like, it's kind of like a fantasy land talking about the College World Series, but I got to experience that firsthand, and exactly what people say it is. The best of the best fans show up and they're cheering on everybody. So yeah, it was an awesome experience.
Cam, did you ever think, when you started, your senior year in high school and then went on to college, that you would ever be this type of player, that you would be a number one pick? You'd be talking about being a Chicago Cub.
Yeah, I would say I definitely had that confidence in me going to school and getting that coaching with the ACC. We had a good idea. I was solid out of high school, but I wasn't ready, to be quite honest with you. And going to school was the best decision I made. So, especially being coached by Link Jarrett, there's nothing better on the market. So he made me a better human and an even better player. So.
Cam, I've got a two-parter. One, just what was it like to see your teammate go one pick ahead of you? And then beyond that, the last few years, the Cubs have targeted guys who they thought could move pretty quick up the farm system. How much do you hope you can kind of fit that mold as well?
Yeah, so seeing Tibbs go the pick before me, I instantly got emotional, just like my pick. But I had to keep it together because I hadn't heard my name yet. So I tried to keep it together as much as I could. But yeah, that's a great dude. That's our leader. That's our guy. So to see him go to San Francisco, it's awesome, man. And I can't wait to call him after this. And yeah, like you said, with the farm system and guys shooting up, I mean, that's my goal. That's the goal, is to get to the big league as quick as you can. So I'm excited to go get playing.
And Cam, just to clarify, I mean, are there people in the Cubs organization or players in the organization, coaches that you've known just through Florida State or kind of your journey to get to this point? Are there any connections to the Cubs or Chicago that, maybe we're not aware of?
Not really, other than my family being huge Cubs fans. Like that's their thing, is Wrigley Field and Chicago Cubs. So I don't know any players or anybody in that organization, but pretty soon I will.
Have you ever been to Chicago?
Yes, I have. I went when I was about 7 or 8 years old with my grandma and my grandfather. And I didn't really remember the experience, but we have pictures of it, so that's pretty cool.
Thanks much.
Alrighty, any more questions for Cam?
Yeah, quick one. Did you go to a Cubs game when you were in Chicago as a kid?
No, I just took the tour. They were away. I can't remember what stadium they were at, but they were away, and I just took the tour that all the fans take.
I have one more, Jesse. If there's any one player that you try to kind of model yourself on, and I know you're trying to be the best version of Cam Smith, but there's somebody that you admire their approach and the way they carry themselves?
Yes, 100%. Corey Seager has always been my guy. His demeanor, he kind of has a poker face. You don't know whether he's 0 for 4 or 4 for 4. That's what I truly love about him, and that's why I'm so attached to his game and how he plays it. And I watch closely, and he's a true leader. He leads by example, and that's kind of how I want to go about my business.
Okay, just one more on the Wrigley Field connection that you mentioned. Just first of all, what are your grandparents' name that went with you to Wrigley Field, and what's the excitement level with family of potentially being able to go again here soon to actually see the park with the game going on and everything else.
Yeah, so my grandma's name is Patty Thomas and my grandpa's name is Bill Thomas. Um, and we're just so excited to go back there once again, and I can actually remember the experience, and it'll be engraved in my head forever, and I'll never forget about it. So yeah, it's going to be a treat, man, and I assume we're going to get emotional again.
Do they have Chicago ties? Your
No,
grandparents?
I mean they're just from Indiana, so.
Okay.